Have you ever heard of a man who could see mathematics? Not just solve it, but truly see it, as if the numbers themselves were painting pictures in his mind? Today, we're diving into the incredible, almost unbelievable life of Srinivasa Ramanujan, a self-taught genius who revolutionized mathematics from a small town in southern India. This isn't just a story about formulas and theorems. It's a story of passion, struggle, and a mind that saw infinity. Imagine a young boy, born in 1887 in Erode, India, into a humble Brahmin family. From a very young age, Ramanujan wasn't like other children. While they played, he was lost in the world of numbers. He devoured any math book he could get his hands on. By the time he was just 13, he had mastered advanced trigonometry and was even developing his own complex theorems. Think about that for a second. At an age when most of us are struggling with basic algebra, he was already charting new mathematical territories completely on his own. His formal education was a bumpy road. His obsession with mathematics was so all-consuming that he failed his other subjects in college, losing his scholarship not once, but twice. For many, this would have been the end of the road. But for Ramanujan, it was just a detour. He continued his work in isolation, filling notebooks with thousands of results theorems, formulas, and equations that no one had ever seen before. These weren't just random scribbles. They were profound insights into the nature of numbers, often arriving in his mind with little to no formal proof. When asked how he came up with them, he would often say his family deity, Namagiri Thayer, revealed the equations to him in his dreams. Living in poverty and struggling to find work, Ramanujan knew he'd share his discoveries with the world. He began a desperate campaign, writing letters to prominent mathematicians in India and England. Most ignored him. They saw his work without the conventional proofs they were used to, and dismissed it as the ramblings of an eccentric amateur. It's a classic tale of genius being misunderstood, but Ramanujan didn't give up. Then, in 1913, everything changed. He wrote a letter to G.H. Hardy, a leading mathematician at Cambridge University. This letter was packed with astounding formulas. At first, Hardy was skeptical. He and his colleague, J.E. Littlewood, spent hours poring over the pages. They concluded that the results must be true because if they were not true, no one would have had the imagination to invent them. Hardy realized he was looking at the work of a genius of the highest caliber, someone on par with legends like Euler and Jacobi. Hardy immediately arranged for Ramanujan to travel to England. This was a monumental decision for Ramanujan. It meant leaving his wife and family, breaking with strict cultural traditions, and journeying to a cold, foreign land where he was a strict vegetarian. But the pull of mathematics was stronger. In 1914, he arrived at Cambridge, and one of the most remarkable collaborations in the history of science began. The partnership between the formal, rigorous Hardy and the intuitive, visionary Ramanujan was a fascinating clash of styles. Hardy taught Ramanujan the importance of formal proof, the language of Western mathematics, while he himself was constantly astounded by Ramanujan's raw, almost magical intuition. Together, they made groundbreaking discoveries in number theory, particularly on the partition of numbers and what are now known as Ramanujan's Mach theta functions. Imagine the isolation Ramanujan must have felt. He was a devout Hindu in a predominantly Christian country, a vegetarian struggling to find suitable food during the rationing of World War I, and he was constantly battling the bleak English weather, which was a stark contrast to his sunny South Indian home. Despite his incredible success, this period took a heavy toll on his health. Tragically, Ramanujan contracted tuberculosis. His health deteriorated rapidly, forcing him to return to India in 1919. Despite being gravely ill, his mind never stopped working. Even on his deathbed, he was producing new mathematical ideas, scribbling on scraps of paper what would later be called the Lost Notebook. This notebook, rediscovered decades later, contained even more stunning and profound theorems that mathematicians are still working to understand today. Srinivasa Ramanujan passed away on April 26, 1920, at the age of just 32. In his short life, he left behind a legacy that is almost immeasurable. He compiled nearly 3,900 results, most of which have since been proven correct. His work has found applications in fields he could never have imagined, from computer science and cryptography to string theory and the study of black holes. Ramanujan's story is a powerful reminder that genius can blossom anywhere, regardless of formal training or circumstance. It's a testament to the power of pure passion and an unyielding curiosity about the universe. He wasn't just solving problems. He was listening to the music of the numbers, a symphony that he shared with the world, and which continues to resonate and inspire new discoveries over a century later. He truly was the man who knew infinity. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life of a true mathematical visionary. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the incredible minds that have shaped our world. Let us know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to learn about next. See you in the next video.